Manchester United are back in Premier League action today as Brentford come to Old Trafford. The game is a must-win for Erik Ten Hag if he is to avoid another week of speculation over his future at Old Trafford. Manchester United have won just 2 in 7 Premier League games this season and are currently on a 3-game winless streak, which contributed to the talk of Ten Hag losing his job over the international break. Unfortunately for the Dutchman, things are not going to get any easier, and he will now have to compete against United-linked Thomas Frank without his star midfielder Kobbie Mainoo, who is out injured. Brentford, on the other hand, have been boosted by the possible return of Yoane Wissa, a player who will pose problems to the United defence. Nusa Mazraoui, Alejandro Garnacho and Ahmad are all back in training after missing games for their countries during the international break. In a boost ahead of today's Premier League game against Brentford at Old Trafford, the trio have all pictured taking part in Thursday's session at Carrington. Morocco international Mazraoui was substituted at half-time in our 0-0 draw at Aston Villa due to illness, but is now back in training. Garnacho and Ahmad were also in the training group after shaking off the knock-in illness, which kept them out for Argentina and Ivory Coast, respectively. Manuel Ugarte undertook a recovery session, having just returned from international duty with Uruguay and taking part in World Cup qualifiers. Malacia continued his progress towards recovery from long-term injury by participating in the first part of the group session. Kobbie Mainoo and Harry Maguire were absent after picking up muscle injuries against Villa, and they are both expected to be out for a few weeks. Mason Mount continues his recovery from a knock sustained against Tottenham Hotspur, and Luke Shaw from a muscle injury, with both making steady progress in their rehabilitations. The Europa League campaign resumes next week with the trip to Turkey to face Fenerbahce on Thursday night. So the United manager has some serious decisions to make this weekend. Here is our predicted lineup. With a bad result likely to pile the pressure right back onto Ten Hag, we expect he will go strong against Brentford and take zero risks, an attitude which has him in such a perilous situation. So, with that in mind, here is our best 11 to take on Brentford. Starting in goal, who else but Andre Onana, with the Cameroonian goalkeeper being United's MVP so far this season and leading the league in clean sheets. Moving into right back, Nusa Mazraoui will be available despite concerns over his fitness, with Ten Hag expected to start him even though he has recently had a minor procedure. Continuing in the defence, the absence of Harry Maguire should mean Matthews de Ligt steps right back into the centre of defence, despite a bad showing in his last game against Porto. Partnering de Ligt will be another player who has some making up to do. Lisandro Martinez has been nowhere near his own high standards this season, so he should start here. On the left, the wait for a natural option continues with a Harry Mas debut unlikely, and therefore it should be Diogo Dalot who starts. Midfield selection will be an interesting one for Ten Hag with Mainoo out and Manuel Ugarte a doubt, so chances are it will be Casemiro who steps back into midfield. Alongside the Brazilian, we expect to see a return of the winning 2022-2023 midfield combination with the informed Christian Eriksen starting once again, although he will struggle to see out the full game after some heavy game time for Denmark. Back fit for this game should be Alejandro Garnacho, and we imagine he will start straight away on the right for United, with Amad Diallo taking the back seat in recent weeks. Bruno Fernandes has been in bad form for United this season, but he can never be ruled out, and he has the chance to reignite his season on Saturday. On the left, Marcus Rashford was starting to pick up some form for United, so against Brentford, he will hopefully continue this and prove key for Ten Hag in his fight to get his team back on track. Up top, Rasmus Hojlund has instantly become the first choice after his return from injury recently, and we expect him to start here in the hunt for a second goal of the season. Ten Hag needs a win, and this lineup could be his best shot at turning things around. In today's match, Erik Ten Hag and Manchester United have everything to play for. A win against Brentford could bring some much-needed relief, but anything less will keep the pressure mounting. With injuries impacting key players and a challenging run of fixtures ahead, this game is crucial for both the team and the manager's future. United fans, your support is more important than ever. Get behind the team and show them what Old Trafford is all about. What are your predictions? Share them in the comments below.